Honorable colleagues, my name is Amos Gwamnamagaji. I represent the peaceful people of Zangon Katav, Jaba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, we are from Kaduna State. I rise to seek leave of the Speaker that all the relevant laws should be suspended, that I should take this motion of public importance. I so move.
The Speaker of the People's Assembly, the great man, the Ian Zaza. I am Honorable Pascal Abodike. I speak for Ihala Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion as moved. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Aye. Those against you say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please proceed.
Motion for urgent need of intervention in University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital over the devastating flood that happened recently. The House notes that on the September 10, 2024, the Alau Dam in Borno State overflowed due to heavy rainfall, resulting in major floods in and around Maiduguri. The deluge severely affected houses, markets, fields, livestock, and several health facilities.
Honorable Jatima Sotomi Alilian, please, I beg you.
That the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital suffered extensive damage due to the flooding, making it inoperable and inaccessible to the public and displaced victims in need of tertiary medical care. Further notes that the renowned cancer center in the facility, which is lauded as one of the largest in the country, was submerged in the flood, thereby damaging all high-end equipment in the center, while wards at the lower level of the facility were also severely flooded, including all medical records.
Honorable Bob, take your seat. Clear the aisle. Honorable Bob.
I take it again, Mr. Speaker. Further note that the renowned cancer center in the facility, which is lauded as one of the largest in the country, was submerged in the flood, thereby damaging all high-end equipment in the center, while walls at the lower level of the facility were also severely flooded, including medical records, administrative records, files, among many other important documents. Aware that electrical power supply in the facility has devastatingly collapsed, largely due to precaution taken to avoid electrocution, as transformer and other power sources in the facility were also submerged in the flood. Concerned that if not urgent intervention is made to address the devastation of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, the people of Borno State, and I dare say neighboring states and neighboring countries, are at high risk of disease outbreak resulting from the flooding. Resolve to urge the Federal Ministry of Health to critically intervene in mitigating the adverse effect of the flooding devastation in the hospital. Mandate the Ministry of Power to promptly restore power to the hospital and take additional measures to intervene in mitigating the disaster. Direct all relevant sectors concerned to ensure that all critical medical equipment in the facility are insured, and in Nigeria tertiary hospitals. Urge the committees on health institutions, power, renewable energy insurance, and actual matter and legislative compliance to assure strict compliance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Satomi Ahmad. I represent the devastated by flood people of Jere Federal Constituency, starting from the Alau to Dusman, representing Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the mover of the motion. Despite we have seen a brother giving, including this honorable chamber, for the support we received. And for my colleague, Mr. Amos, to come up with this motion, we are very much grateful. But what has happened in Maiduguri is a global catastrophe. It's a national issue that of a highest magnitude. Mr. Speaker, including Mr. President, yourself, all colleagues across the country are there in the Maiduguri, Borno State capital, to sympathize with our people. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, was on ground firm, receiving all forms of support of any kind. And the Federal Ministry of Health, that the Chairman Health has spoken, are also there. We have seen the oneness as a nation. We have seen contribution. We have received support from all walks of life. But still, the level of capital infrastructural damage caused by these incidents is huge. And we thank him for the motion and for the calling for the...
Honorable Jimmy Benson.
But I want to put it
You are
on the
disturbing
record
Honorable Kuyewo.
that everybody is part of us, and we have seen the brotherhood, particularly from my colleagues, headed by you, Mr. Speaker. You are aware, and we have seen a lot of callings you made and contacts within and outside this country, and they have come to our aid. We thank each and everyone for the support, for the care, for the brotherhood as a nation, and Mr. President particularly, despite his tight schedules, the day he came back from his official function, he quickly moved into Maiduguri to see things for himself. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues, for the brotherhood, for the oneness you have shown to us, and we are very much grateful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your leadership, for your statesmanship, and for the support given to the victims of the flood in Borno State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. We'll take
Shinkanke Kanam Federal Constituency. I'm from Plateau State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, my brother, the chairman held, for bringing this prompt motion. Thank you, my brother and friend, Honorable Saitomi, and members from Maiduguri, for explaining and appreciating the people that participate and are still participating in ensuring that we bring succor to the people of Maiduguri. Mr. Speaker, my addition is just simple. We have seen it in media. Some of us and some of you have visited Maiduguri. It's beyond what anybody can see in social media. Having heard this kind of position from the Maiduguri member and the constituents that are predominantly affected, headed by my friend Honorable Saitomi, I want to say that I want to call on the people of Nigeria, including people outside the country. An injury to humanity, irrespective of where it happens, is an injury to all. So I want to lend my voice on this subject matter by calling on philanthropies and other government institutions that still there is gap that is existing in Maiduguri where our citizens are suffering, that if we can come to the aid of the people again, just like it has been done by Mr. President, Senate President, Mr. Speaker, and other relevant stakeholders in Nigeria, I think the gap is not closed. I will call on the citizens of this country to continue to come to the aid of the affected victims of Maiduguri. Businesses are lost. People lost their livelihood. People are displaced. No matter the level of the contribution by the foreign partners, by the government of this country, by institutions like parliament, by individuals like representatives, I don't think the damage being done to the people of Maiduguri, those contributions will be able to cover those gaps. So I call on any well-meaning Nigerian that will come to the aid of the people, still to reach out to the government and people of Maiduguri by assisting them to come out of the present test that they are passing through. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to learn.
In Maiduguri is affected another hospital in Maiduguri. That this is a general problem according to my colleagues here. The intervention should be extended. In Maiduguri Correction Center, out of 281 inmates are nowhere to be found, and is a threat to the national security. That as an intervention should be provided to rehabilitate and reconstruct the prison in Maiduguri as immediately in order to checkmate the security of the nation. That is the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Those against, you say nay. The ayes have it. Any more amendments? No? So we'll put the question. Those in support of this motion as amended, you say aye.
Amendment, sir. Amendment.
I ask.
Amendment, sir.
I asked earlier, and
Amendment.
nobody seems to...
I raise up my hand, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, go ahead.
I am Right Honorable Garba, member representing Yamal Tudeba Federal Constituency. I am from Gombe State, Mr. Speaker. While I sympathize with the people and government of Borno State for the devastation that occurred, which claim lives and properties, I want to make an amendment to the existing prayers forwarded by our colleagues. Looking at the magnitude and the gravity of what transpired or happens during this devastation in Maiduguri, Borno State, which affects businesses, farmlands, IDP camps, schools, hospitals, institutions, rehabilitation camps, and many other areas. I want to add in the prayers that the federal government, in as much as individuals can come up with their support, financial support in billions, I want to put it as a motion, an amendment on the motion to the prayers, that the federal government should give a special grant of 300 billion to the people of Borno State to be able to cater, Mr. Speaker, we have service-wide boats. It does what is
Honorable Garba.
This is my amendment. 300 billion should be given to Borno State as a prayer.
Let me advise you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't put a figure. Just say you are requesting.
Thank you,
don't
sir.
know how much they need.
Let me amend it, sir. Let me amend it. I am calling on the federal government that he should look into the issue of what transpired in Maiduguri and use his magnanimity and, leadership spirit by creating a huge amount of not less than 300 billion to the people or more than 300 billion to the people of Borno State for what happens in Maiduguri. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder?
Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Urogonam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the amendment as proposed by my colleague. And I second the part that he said he has removed the amounts, but allow the federal government to use its discretion to support the victim of Borno incident. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those amendments, you say aye. Those against, you say nay. I'll put the question again, because it appears that the minority leaders infected you with throat infection. So those in support should say aye.
Aye.
Those against should say nay.
No.
The ayes have it. Honorable Kue.
Demori Aliu Kuye. I speak for the good people of Shomolu Federal Constituency, and I'm from Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, before I make my very important
Order.
amendment, permit me to first thank the Right Honorable Speaker, Dr. Tajuddin Abbas, for the powerful delegation that you mandated to visit the government, the victim, and the people of Borno State during this trying period, and to commend you for the leadership, the exemplary leadership, and love and passion and compassion that you showed to the people of Borno State through your generous donations to the victim and to the government of the state. We pray that, let's use the same, in the same breath, thank Mr. President for his visit to and his contribution, his donation to the people of the state. My amendment, sir.
Honorable Kwe, you are not amending anything there.
I am amending. I'm going to my amendment
so
now.
Go to the amendment, please.
I'm going to my amendment. Sir. My amendment is to the prayer. Is that the federal government should immediately take steps to address the reconstruction of the dam and other dams in the country. Number two is that the government, in their intervention, not only to the teaching hospital, but particularly to the palace of the Sheikh of Borno, whose the entire palace was seriously affected by the flooding. I so pray to amend, sir.
Honorable Kwe, I was made to understand of the palace of the Sheikh of Borno can be seconded by anyone who feels that it is important enough. Any seconder to that? Honorable Larry, the chairman, Committee on Tradition. Motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Health Institutions, Power, Renewable Energy, Insurance, and Actuarial Matters, Legislative Compliance for further legislative action.